All right, so we've gone over a lot of information today. We're going to switch gears and we're going to be talking about the Secure Employer website. Okay, so I'll be referencing it as SO. And just by a show of hands, how many of you all have permissions to add or edit information in SO? Raise them high if you have permissions to add, edit information. Okay, thank you. Sometimes, okay. How about read-only? How about the read-only access? Do we have the read-only access out there? Just one? Okay, that's fine. And then, how many of you all have no idea what the Secure Employer website is? And that's completely fine, too. It's completely fine, be honest. Okay, so hopefully, by the end of this presentation, you'll see the benefits of having the Secure Employer website, access to so maybe possibly talking to your employer about that, if that's a possibility. Can you all hear me okay? I know I was a little quieter this morning. Okay, so Alyssa concluding the day with the Secure Employer website. All right, let's get started. Okay. All right, so these are the things that we're going to be covering to conclude today. It does look like a lot of information. It's not that overwhelming, I promise. We're going to be doing a super high-level overview of SO and the hyperlinks within SO. That's what these are. So I'll go ahead and jump right in. Okay. Does that look familiar to anybody? Yeah. Okay, so just starting out, when you do log into SO and you have access, this is the home screen. This is what it looks like. And so this is where announcements will be. And this is a quick hit of information for you all, just mentioning, hey, there's upcoming changing information, system downtime, committee meeting dates, teachers retirement board meeting dates, or correspondence updates. So that's this area here. Can everybody see that? That would be this area here. All right. And then, as you saw in the last slide, that's what we're going to be going over today. So just high-level overview of each of those hyperlinks. All right, so let's go ahead and get started talking about this hyperlink up top called My Account. So that's actually a hyperlink, and if you were to click on that in the upper left-hand corner, it takes you to something like this. And this is where your personal data and preferences, where they live. So personal information, your notification preferences, this is where you can edit information. If you click on that edit button right there, you'll be able to edit your information. The one thing here that we ask and emphasize is that your email address is up to date, because if you are locked out or need that password reset, that's where we're going to reach you at, okay? So just make sure that password or that email address is up to date. Okay. Any questions about the beginning part of it, the My Account? All right, let's talk about manage files. So one thing I will say before I continue on is that when it comes to permissions, what you will be able to see will vary. So if you don't have permission or you don't have access at all, you won't be able to see some of the things here. So you'll hear me repeating that throughout the presentation. So manage files, that is one thing that if you don't have permissions, you may not be able to see. So manage files, you can do a lot of good things. Upload and remove files, see file statuses and statistics. If we were to actually click on that hyperlink, it would take us to something that looks like this. So here you would have active files, transmitted files, and a place where you can upload files. So if we were to actually click on that active files, this is where approving and correcting edits on current files can happen. So clicking on that would look something like this. So using that Active Files tab, you can work your monthly file, your supplemental file, or your partial files. And so just diving down, so we're talking about this area here. And so we'll talk a little bit about definitions. So we'll go down each of the columns. What do they each mean? Okay. So we have file name there. So that's just the name of the file. When you upload the file, you're naming it and then you're uploading it. So that's whatever you named it. We have the file type. So you see some acronyms there. We have MO, SU, P. So that would be MO would be a monthly, SU would be a supplemental, and P would be a partial. Report source, that's the reporting source. Report unit, that would be if some employers that report directly to the report source, that would be them. Report period, that's the period in which the report is for. And then we have status. So status, there's a lot of different things that can be happening there, and I'll go over those definitions. So here you see some correction required, process incomplete. So correction required, that is edit. You need to make an edit, or there is an unapproved edit. There's also a process incomplete there. So that references those partial files. Partial files, they cannot be transmitted, so their status is going to be processing complete. And then you have ready to transmit, and that's when when you correct your edits and it's good to go, it's ready to transmit. Okay, and then that last column there, date uploaded, that was just the date that that file was last touched. Okay, everyone feeling okay about that? Okay, question over here.
Just a question on the right to delete files, because you're only going to have so many up there. How do we know which ones would be okay to delete?
How do you know which files would be okay to delete? We're going to throw it over to Bev.
Sure. Hey there. That is completely up to you. So in MAS, we have the ability to look in. We can't change anything in SO, but we like to looky-loo. And some people have the maximum number of files possible all in there, and other people have 0. So as soon as you're done with a file, let's see, we've got this, these are all, see that we've got the Plumas Supplemental CVS text, and then too below it's Plumas Supplemental CVS Unit 5. If you're done with both of those, let's say you did the partial file and you figured out what you need to change in your system, and you've already told and this is only the county office really can delete their files. So if the county office says, oh, I've already taken those and put them into my big file that I'm gonna do, they could delete them. If they delete them too quickly, they're going to have to ask you to do another one, so they probably won't do it too quickly. But yeah, there's no recommended time that you need to leave them. You can clean house if you want to.
Go ahead, or comment.
So we report our retirement CalSTRS through our county office. What is the timeline? I'm looking at an example here, November 5th, and it's uploaded January the 8th. Is that like 2-month approximate timeline?
Do you see it, Bev?
Yes, so a monthly file is due to CalSTRS 30 days after the end of the pay period that you're reporting. So if you were reporting November, we would want that file by the end of December. And then it's delinquent 14 days thereafter. So by January 14th or 15th, we'd be saying, oh, that's a delinquent file. Now, that's when CalSTRS wants it. Your county office probably wants it from you a little quicker than that, because they're going to have to take all of those partial files and put them into one big one and check them again. So whatever your county says, that's what you go by. But yeah, to us, they're due in 30 days after the end of the pay period. So this one, they're getting really close to being delinquent, right? They're already late. I know we're talking about 2009 up here, but they're really late now.
Does that answer your question? Okay, thank you, Bev. All right. Okay, so I notice I say so a lot after talking about so. Not a good joke. Okay. All right, so now let's talk about file summaries. So if you were to look at this and say, all right, this one is requiring a correction. I need to make a correction. So what do? You would actually just go ahead and click on the file, one of the hyperlinks there, and you would get something that looks like this. I know it's a little bit difficult to read, but just to show you what it looks like, and this is a file summary. So from here, you'll be able to see a bunch of information: summary, statistical information, your link to your file details, link to file list. reports. So now say that you, like we talked about, you want to see what the exact errors were on your file. So if we were to zoom in a little bit into the middle of the screen here, it would look something like this. So we have that MOB007, we have that MOB008, and then MOB080. So we have some corrections that are required. So this is what it would look like, and once those corrections are made, that button that's whited out down there, that transmitted file, you'll be able to push everything through once your corrections are made. So that's just the reason why it's not highlighted right now, or is highlighted and not okay for you to transmit. So let's actually dive in and say for that first line there, that MOB007, let's get more details on that. So how would we do that? All right, so we would actually be going to view file details. From there, you'll be able to apply filters to the exact areas that you want to isolate and hone in on. So, like I said, MOB007, that's what we want to know more about. So we'll highlight that and click that apply filter. And then it'll take us to something that looks like this. So now we have the record number here. Okay, so clicking on the record number, so it did say that we had three errors there, so let's click and see in the individual file and see what's going on in those line details. All right, so here, it'll be the possible errors will be highlighted, and then there will be a possible resolution or solution suggested below, okay? And then moving forward, once you make the corrections, you go back and make the corrections that you need to make, and then your file will be ready to transmit once those are corrected. Okay? All right, everyone feeling okay about that? All right, let's move forward. All right, manage reports. So same thing, you may not be able to see this hyperlink depending on your permissions, but this is just where reports can be viewed. Let's talk about maintain users. So this is for those, the employer administrators, so the administrators for they determine your level of access, they can update permissions and reset passwords. That's where they would go for that. Authorize users. So this is for those administrators within your areas. This is where they would go at the end of the cycle. Say that they would give somebody access, they would do what they need to do on that end, and at the end of it, once it's gone through CalSTRS and been approved, they would go here and authorize the user to have access to SO. All right, and then REAP. So REAP stands for Remote Employer Access Program. So this is a great place to find out information about members. And this is the area where we talked a lot about forms today, like, hey, do I offer that membership form? Do I offer the permissive election form? Do I offer that ES 372, that per STRS form? So this is where you can find information regarding members there. So jumping into what that exactly looks like, it looks something like this when you were to click on that hyperlink. If you were to search by tax ID, client ID, or LAUSD number, let's talk about some of the tabs that are actually in here. So we have person account, and that shows the name, date of birth, member status. We have the DB contribution lines, and that would be shows reporting for the member. Service credit balance, and that shows how much service credit the individual has. And then if they are a cash balance member, they would have a tab that shows their contribution lines as well. Okay, so helpful information for reporting. All right, employer notifications. So there's two things in employer notifications here. It talks about status changes and the 2% at 62 compensation cap. So for the 2% at 62 compensation cap, this is if a 2% at 62 benefit structure, a member, comes close to the compensation cap, or reaches about 80%, when they reach 80% of it, their names will be listed there. So you'll be able to notify them about that. There's also status changes. So this area here, it'll look something like this if you were to click on that tab. And if you were to apply the dates that you needed to apply, you'll be able to see a variety of information about those members. So if they've taken a refund and gone to non-member status, if they're retired, if they got into service retirement, which would be SR, if they've gone from non-member to member. So this can definitely help when it comes to reporting. Okay. All right, contribution account portal, also known as CAP. So this is where employers can view their penalties and create disputes. Okay. All right, remittance advice. So employers, right, you all send your payments for contributions to us with files. The remittance advice there helps CalSTRS accounting identify which payments are for which files. That's what that is for. We have the Secure Message Center. So if you are communicating with CalSTRS and it involves anything that has personal identifiable information with members, so anything PII related, Social Security numbers, you want to communicate with us via the Secure Message Center. And for this, there is no group capability. It's just employer services representative to employer, just a one-to-one there. Okay, and then we have reference items. So I'll actually show you maybe how to find that directive we talked about earlier today. So I'll go into my Secure Employer website, my MISO. So this is what it looks like. Remember I was talking to you all about those announcements. So we won't be here on Monday, February 18th. Hopefully you all get a day too. All right, so let's talk about those reference items. So if you were to click on reference items, there's a lot of great resources here for you all. So those employer directives and circulars, we mentioned that employer directive earlier. So let's go ahead and let's find that one. I'll send it to you all as well, but let's use SO to find it. All right, so we check that box there and hit search. I go ahead and click open to the directives. There's also circulars. But in reference to a definition for directives and circulars, it's just a communication tool that we use to notify employers of any legislative updates. And they're already put into layman's terms for us normal people to understand, not speaking legalese. Okay, so here's the employer directive. So let's find that directive that we had mentioned earlier. So let's go ahead and go into 2018. And there it is right there. So this is that directive that we talked about with membership. I'll give you all the rest of the day to read it. So it's a quick hit of information, but translated for you all to read. Okay, yeah. Oh, I selected for that?
Yeah, I just wanted to see how you selected it again, because
Okay.
I've always had a problem
How I got there?
finding it.
All right, so I clicked on the employer directives and circulars, and then I went to open,
Okay.
and it took me directly to calstrs.com. And it's categorized by year. So this year we've only had one circular out so far. Still early in the year, right? But I went to 2018. And so we can all go way back. We can go way back to 1996 if we wanted to see what we had come out with then. Okay? Everyone feeling good about that? All right. So talking about, to go to the next thing, you do actually have to uncheck the button. So now we'll go into employer communications, and I'll search that for you. So these are employer bulletins, and another quick hit of information for you all, but it's in an employer newsletter and important articles designated for you all. So those, we have file specifications. So one thing that's a popular request of us are cheat sheets or resources. So this is a great place to have to find the resources in the cheat sheets for reporting, assignment codes, our new file format benefit connect that's on there, and how to resolve and edit. Okay, so quick hit of information located in one spot for you to all find. Then we have file submission and remittance schedules. So this is just the schedules for both of those in chronological order here for you to find. And then we have forms. So forms, go ahead and click check forms and hit search, and it's just a la carte the forms that we have here at CalSTRS. We do emphasize that you all are using the most up-to-date forms. As you can tell, we do frequently update our forms, like the membership form is the most up-to-date one, just so that things progress easy for both of us processing-wise and for the member. Using the most up-to-date forms is something that we emphasize. All right. Everyone feeling okay about reference items? Okay, let's go to forms and publications. So I'll stay on the live view here. Forms and publications. If I just click on it, it's going to take me directly to calstrs.com. You'll be able to order our most up-to-date forms. This is just for me. I can only order 2, but the load for you is a little bit more. Okay, so you just click there. Say you want that direct deposit authorization, or you can advise the members to go to our website and do this as well. But view print, and there you go. And then lastly, say we have my links at the bottom here. I don't have any my links here, but I will add something. So say I really want to get spun up on that on the Benefit Connect, the new system that's coming up. So I want to make sure that I have it as a quick link for me to be able to access. So I could add it to my quick links, and what I would do is I would go ahead and check this box here, and then I would go add to my links, and it says I added it to there, and then now it's a hyperlink for me, and it'll just take me there directly. So you could do that with forms, anything that's on the reference items there.
My question is, if I added the express benefit form and you update it, would the update one be automatically updated in my favorites or my links?
So her question is in reference to if I do add the form, will it, if we do change the form, will it update automatically? So unfortunately, no. Okay. So you would have to go back there. I know, I had the same question. And I know. Good question. All right. Okay. So that's all I have for you. Oh, what, Lisa?
So those forms that you can order or you can view and print, is it fine for the employer just to go ahead and pull them up and print them locally? You don't necessarily have to have forms mailed to you?
What was the first part of it?
So on the forms and publications where you showed us, you could go in there and pull up the most up-to-date forms.
Mm-hmm.
You had that view and print option.
Mm-hmm.
So we could just go in there, pull up the new 350, print it out locally 10 times, use that for enrollments.
Yes, you
don't
can.
need to order.
I
but
mean, if you want to
there's-
wait the 3 to 5 or 3 to 10 business days or whatever we say, 7 to 10 business days for the snail mail to come to you, can
Don't
wait.
need to.
You don't need to wait for that anymore.
Okay.
You could just
Still
download
has a
and print.
barcode on it, then you're all good.
Yeah, just download and print. Yeah.
So are your forms if I were to download one of the forms, is it PDF ready, like fillable PDF?
Let's find out.
Let's do the express benefit form.
Did you all need me to print some for you as well here? Okay. All right, so we were saying let's go to forms and publications. She wants that express benefit report. Here it is, view print. Let's see. All right, so here it is. Is it fillable? That's the question. Fortunately, no. Can you write that down in the evaluation? All right, any other questions?
Just a quick question. You used to be able to order like a case of like membership books. Are we still able to do that?
She's asking if we can order a case of membership books. So does anybody know the? I know we used to be able to. We can get back to you on that one. Yeah, we're looking. Grab some from the member service center right here before you leave. Here you go. Oh, here comes Megan.
Here I come. I don't know what you mean by a case. I think the publication ordering system, most publications are limited at 99 is the max you can order. When you go to order it, it should tell you. I know the Welcome to CalSTRS booklet is a little bit more limited, I believe, but the standard member handbook, I believe you can order up to 99 at a time.
I can only order 2. You can try. Let us know. Oh, do you want to know how? Okay, we could do that. So if I were to go here, so I'll just pick up this one. We'll say my retirement guide. Say I can only order 2, so I'll just put 2 in there. And I'll go to next, and then all that good stuff in there. And then you hit next. Oh, that's just for me, just my view. Oh. Oh. So yours is only showing 2. Okay, let's go to the member service center after this and see what they can do for us.
So yours is only showing 2.
Yeah, that's kind of
And you're
interesting.
logging in with your, from SO. You're jumping over from SO? Are you sure? Oh, they've told us that when people only get 2, it's because they just go into calstrs.com and go into the forms and publications from there. And then it doesn't know who you are, so it figures you're just Joe Q Public and all you need is 2. If you go in and log into Secure Employer website and click just like she did, they've promised us that it will know that you're an employer and will offer you the max number. So try, and if and when it doesn't work, would you take a screenshot of that, oh no you can't, and send it to employer help, and we will send it off and see what answer we get this time.
I'll do some digging for you too. Sandy, right? Sandy, okay.